almost close to Fairview, and I'm going to turn on the debris just so you can see it. Doesn't look like there's as much debris, but that also might be because we are so close to the radar. If there is some, it's going to be debris closer to Pembroke, but overall, we're going to continue to stay with these storms. Again, these warnings are in effect until 10 a.m. So we're going to make sure to stay with you as these storms continue to push through, Marcus.
Let's come back over to Max 1. Let's kind of give us a better view here on what's actually before we do that, Logan, let's bring up Max 2 for a quick second. This is the camera that we have here. This is I-24 right at the Tennessee-Kentucky state line, and we just had all of this blinding rain move through. This is a static image that updates for us regularly. Again, for the southern portion of this storm, that tornado may have crossed over the interstate once again. It's a secondary rotating part of the storm, different from the one that passed the Pennyroyal Parkway. This was a second area of circulation that we saw here. All right, let's go back over to Max 1. Let's show you the News 2 Storm Tracker Radar Network. And again, any area of circulation now is going to be right over Fairview. Here's our downside. We are just a couple of miles away from the radar, and the radar shoots up into the storm. So we had a great view of it, unfortunately, as it came through I-24, the Pennyroyal Parkway, U.S. Highway 41 south of Hopkinsville, and then 41 southeast of Hopkinsville. But now, since we're due north and also we're parallel to the actual storm, and to the radar, I should say, it's going to be a little bit harder to see. So I still need you in Todd County to be in your safety area, because we could still have a tornado on the ground here in this area. And this is continuing right along Russellville Road at this time. Let me also check back in on the southern portion of the storm. Remember, we've got several ongoing warnings here. We also have this southern portion for Christian and Todd until 10 o'clock. And I'm probably going to have to see this one from the Nashville radar. So let me switch over to that to see if we have anything. And at least at this point, it's shooting a little bit higher up, but it does look like that we could have some brief spin right along the leading edge here of this line. So let me kind of give you the pinpoint here. So we're looking at rotation that could happen anywhere along this line, and specifically in between Trenton and Guthrie, so now crossing over Highway 79, and now even in between Fairview and Elkton along Russellville Road, okay? And now we're just getting new scans, and also new tornado warnings are coming in here over this particular spot. So this new tornado warning is now going into Logan County. I believe that's correct. Logan County, Kentucky here on this new tornado warning. Let me get up to that and let me reset the picture for you so you can see this new tornado warning, because this is a continuation of the storm that's coming out of Todd County, and it does go into Logan. It clips extreme northwest portions of Simpson County, and also heading into western Warren County. Again, the National Weather Service, we're switching from Paducah, now heading to the Louisville Forecast Office, which covers Logan, Simpson, Butler, which we don't cover, but Warren County and Kentucky. This will go until 10 a.m. Again, these storms are very fast moving, and they are going to be capable of some significant wind gusts, and this is going to travel pretty much along Highway 68. Russellville Road. So Russellville, thinking about what we dealt with from the December 9th tornado, where we had that tornadic storm that came all the way out of Montgomery County and came up into Logan County. I believe it went just south of Russellville, but still too close. Now you're in this particular warning here, so I need you in your safe spot. You know anybody that is out where it's 9:30? Sunday services are ongoing. People are probably just enjoying their brunch, beginning to hopefully just enjoy what hopefully would be a quiet weather day, but now it is turning a lot more active, okay? So give folks a call. If you're over in this spot from Elkton, coming up through Russellville, Auburn, west side of Bowling Green. Again, the environment here as it continues to move east is very favorable and very conducive for spin-up tornadoes. We have a lot of instability. The late afternoon sunshine from yesterday did not help things, because that has been with us through the overnight and this morning. So that's the extra fuel that we need here for the storms to continue. And also we're increasing the spin in the atmosphere as well. And that's why these storms are rotating. So the new warning does continue for 10 o'clock there. Let me come back to the west. Let's go back over to this one here in, sorry, I had to get down a little bit closer on this particular storm. Okay. For Todd County until 10 o'clock. All right, the threat is considerable. Christian County, I believe you are in the clear. Hopkinsville, you are in the clear. The Weather Service is still calling this a confirmed, dangerous, large tornado that is on the ground, that is moving through this area. We should get an update here, hopefully on this shortly, because they had it actually just south of Hopkinsville. So we're waiting an update here on this. Meanwhile, it is still important that you're in your tornado safety spot because we are looking at some significant wind right along this line, and there is still some circulating spin-ups here right along 68 Russellville Road, so in between Fairview and Elkton. At this time, this will be the area of concern, and now we just have a new tornado warning that just came out also that's going to be placing this just to the east of Fairview and Trenton. Go ahead, Shelby, while I get this reset here with this new warning.
So, Marcus, what we're looking at landmark-wise is that I know a lot of people, like you said, are at church and at brunch. So, few spots that this is going to be getting close to right now is Crenshaw Farms. We've got Keystone Construction, West End Auto Salvage, Bluegrass Bargain Barn, Johnson Window Tinting, Bluegrass Sales Stables. And as this continues to move over just a little bit farther, we can see it closer to Hoover's Auctioneer Services, Todd County Stone, Kaufman Home Decor, Jeff Lear Trucking LLC. And so this storm is still moving 65 miles per hour. It has got that hail signature that's just about dime sized. It does look like there has been some tree damage potentially. And again, this is a considerable tornado threat. So we're going to continue to stay with this because this storm has really held itself together pretty aggressively as it's moved across southern Kentucky. And as you were showing, that radar is getting a little bit closer. So we did have to switch over to the Nashville radar so that you could really see exactly where this storm is. But there's also some really strong straight line winds making their way over to Elkton as well. So we're going to continue to watch this for you. But what we're really looking at over in Elkton are these strong winds. I'm going to go ahead and put a storm tracker on this that is just to the east of Elkton. This is going to get closer to Russellville. So this storm is going to be getting close to Daysville by 9:30, 9:33, and to Whippoorwill, I hope I said that one, Lick Skillet by 9:34, Russellville by 9:40, and then Russellville and Logan County by 9:43, Dennis by 9:45, Auburn by 9:49, and then 9:51 into Turnertown. So we're still watching this tornado warned storm. I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like on the radar. It does look a little bit angry, especially where there could be potentially some hail core associated with this. I'm going to turn on that debris tracker. Looks like there could be some debris being lofted just to the east of Elkton. This is close to US Highway 68. I'm going to circle that for you so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Getting closer to street level. Let's name some of these off. Miller Valley Road. Get to your safe place now. Clay Cole Road. Goodman Road. Crittenden Road. Daysville Road, Gordonsville Road. We're still watching where these tornadoes could potentially be popping up. Again, this is only the beginning of the day, though, because we could have some more strong storms rolling in later this afternoon and into tonight. I'm going to go ahead and turn back on the radar so we can see exactly what I'm talking about. But we're still tracking multiple tornado warnings. These are all in Kentucky. And then zooming out just a bit further, there's also some severe thunderstorm warnings, and these are going to be getting into the Tennessee and Kentucky state line. So we're watching these storms as well. But what our focus is on these 3 tornado warned storms. And it looks like we might be getting a new severe thunderstorm warning as this tornado might be falling apart closer to Muhlenberg. So we're going to continue to keep our eyes down on Todd and Logan counties, Marcus.
Go to the Clarksville camera. I want to make sure that we're talking about the other area too. We've had the tornado warnings north of you in Clarksville, but you're under a severe thunderstorm warning here, and we're looking at torrential downpours right now inside of Clarksville. It's our Tennessee Lottery camera at this point, and very significant wind is happening here. We'll go back over to Max 1, and you'll notice here I have the velocity turned on here on this particular storm, but watch this line. Look at this line. This is a Boeing segment line. So we have severe thunderstorm warnings out for significant wind that's now moving into northern Cheatham. Again, this is crossing over I-24, not too far from exit 19, Maxey Road there as you work your way on the northern portion of Cheatham near the Robertson County area. Again, significant wind. That's what I'm seeing here mainly as a threat over this storm, and that's moving into the Springfield area here within the next, say, 10 minutes. Again, severe thunderstorm warning. Let me query that way you all can see. this severe thunderstorm warning that we have, and it's for Cheatham, Houston, Montgomery, Robertson, and Stewart counties. And the threat here is considerable, and that runs until 10 a.m. for this significant severe storm that's moving through. Let me come back over to the velocity once again, and you'll notice here bright areas of green, which indicates to us strong, straightforward, moving, damaging wind that is going to be possible over this particular area, and that is now moving into the west portion of Robertson County at this time. It's also moving right along I-24 as well, and this will continue to surge south and southeast. Let me zoom in a bit closer here on this particular storm. That way we can get a better handle, because this storm is also moving very fast at 60 miles an hour. So where are we looking at some significant wind? This is coming in through Adams along Highway 41, Cedar Hill, Barren Plains. It's about to move into you. If you're in Springfield and you're about to leave for Sunday morning activities, you need to stay put. You need to stay put. You don't want to be out on the roadway at this time, as this significant wind is moving in your direction. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to be there within the next 5 to 7 minutes because of how fast this storm is moving. Let me come farther south. We are looking at now at the Robertson and the Cheatham County line. So there's US Highway 41A, Clarksville Pike. Here's exit 19. I'm sorry you can't see that. Let me put an arrow there. That's the Maxey Road exit that runs down into Cheatham and then up into Robertson County here. Ashland City Highway on the far left-hand side. So significant wind moving here, and that's headed toward Coopertown, Pleasant View along Highway 49. Again, I would advise you as well, do not leave your area at this point. Stay put, because this storm has significant wind and it's moving in very quickly. Southern side of Montgomery County, from south of Clarksville along 13 and 48, 149 that runs over into Houston County and southeast Stewart County. Significant wind gusts are possible here over this particular storm, and that's why we have this severe thunderstorm warning out. Inside of Metro Davison County, no warning here. We do have it in place for west portions of Sumner County. It'll probably be there for you in about 20 minutes or so. All right, let's go back to the tornado warnings that we continue to follow for you here at this time. Again, we've had a confirmed tornado move from southwest of Hopkinsville, cross over I-24, cross over the Pennyrile, US Highway 41, and then 41 again near Pembroke, and then go up to near Russellville Road and Highway 68. And currently, we still have ongoing tornado warnings here at this time. The good news is that most of this appears to be significant straight line wind. However, an embedded tornado or two can spin up along the leading edge. And let me circle the area that we're talking about. We are talking about all up and down along this line. That is where we could easily see rotation spin up and tighten back up. That could lead to a tornado, and that's why the Weather Service continues this tornado warning. It goes until 10 o'clock for east portions of Todd County, and then until 10 o'clock for portions of Logan, Simpson, Butler, and Warren counties in Kentucky. All right, and that's why we are still covering this tornado warning that is in effect here in this spot. Again, moving into Russellville right now. Russellville, at the very least, you need to be prepared for some significant wind gusts that are going to move in. All right, so coming up 431 out of Robertson County, Adairville, Kentucky, all the way up to Russellville and up toward Lewisburg, Kentucky, inside of Logan County. Okay, now we have several different Lewisburgs. We have one down in portions of Marshall County, but we're looking at Logan County inside of Kentucky. So significant wind is developing here along this edge, and that's going to continue to move east and eventually head up into portions of Simpson County, east portions of Logan, and then heading up toward Warren County, Kentucky. That's where the city of Bowling Green is located. Let me zoom the view out, give you a storm track here. Again, these storms are moving very fast at about 65 to 70 miles an hour. So as we give you these times of arrival, these storms are going to move quick, and you'll notice just how fast that they're moving. So Russellville, we're looking at the next 5 minutes for the storm to move in. Again, wind is the top threat, but there could be an embedded tornado. That's why a tornado warning is in effect. Auburn, 9:49. Let me back up to Adairville. Coming in for you at 9:41. Make sure you can see all those times there on the screen. Turnertown, 9:50. Franklin, 9:54. Temperance, 10:01. That puts it in on portions of Warren County and Bowling Green, specifically at about 10:05. But the west portions of Warren County in Kentucky, you're going to be looking at about 950 to 955. And then continuing on toward Scottsville. Okay, if it holds together there, heading into Allen County around 1015, Rocky Hill at about 1020. Again, this is 70 miles an hour. It's moving so fast for us that as we call off these street names, we will see the storm begin to move over those spots here very quickly. Let me show you the loop. Look at the last 30 minutes. This is a very fast-moving storm, but I've really slowed down how we see it moving, but it's moving quickly. It has moved through Trigg County, Christian County, almost out of Todd County, and now moving through portions of Logan County. And it has a lot of lightning, even lightning out ahead of the actual main line, because the Anvil cloud top, that's the highest part of the cloud top, is coming out ahead of it. And that has cloud-to-ground lightning strikes associated with it, too. Again, in Montgomery County, we're looking at very heavy rain, significant wind now pushing to the southeast of portions of Montgomery County, moving into the Robertson, northern Cheatham County area at this moment. And this will continue along the due east. What's interesting to know, too, just thinking about what I looked at yesterday on the model data and whatnot, this is exactly what the high-resolution model was indicating for us here, and it really has gotten its act together, all right? Don't let this exclude you, though, thinking that Middle Tennessee, other areas of southern Kentucky are not going to see severe weather. It is likely that we'll have more severe thunderstorms as we progress through the day. Look at all the lightning strikes, too. I know it may be a little hard to see because we are in a double box here watching the race and then watching these storms. I have lightning strikes all the way inside of Davidson County from the storms that are happening up to the north and to the northwest. So if you hear thunder, you see lightning, you need to be indoors immediately and away from the outside, because lightning can strike at any point. We're seeing a lot of those lightning strikes develop out ahead of this particular line. Again, we are watching the tornado warning. Let me go back over to the radar here at this current time. Okay, Shelby, go ahead.
So, Marcus, we did just get new information that it looks like there has been reports of that tornado warning that came through Trigg County, and we're still tracking it. This actually came through Graves County first, and it split 5 to 6 trees. So this tornado is still very strong. It's that same one. There's still a lot of energy in the atmosphere that this is tapping into. So we need to make sure to stay with it, but we're also dealing with plenty of severe thunderstorm warnings across the Tennessee and Kentucky state line, like you were just talking about.
Shelby, thank you so much. Let's check the velocity once again here on the storm that's moving in through Logan County right now. Again, we have, looks like now just one tornado warning. Let me just kind of reset here. That way we can see. We have one tornado warning. All right, so the southern portion, that the Christian Todd County tornado warning, that has been canceled, or maybe it was allowed to expire. So we're just looking at one tornado warning now, and that's on the northern side of Russellville. All right, if I come back over to velocity and we'll take a closer look again inside of the storm, you'll notice that we still have some areas of circulation that are worth watching just west of 431. So essentially in between 68 and 431. Excuse me, from Russellville heading up to the north, you need to be in your safety area. This is where the possibility of a tornado could develop. That's where we're just seeing the circulation at this point. It doesn't look like it's very tight, and I do not see any debris being detected here at this time. So both of those are good news, but we have a tornado warning that's in effect, and we'll have to watch and see if any sort of notch develops there. But this is now crossing through Russellville at this point. We talked about how fast it's moving, and it was right on time with that timestamp that we gave you with the ETAs for Russellville and Adairville, Lewisburg, 940 to about 942. So we're right on track there. So heads up for Auburn, western portions of Warren County. You need to be prepared for this storm as it continues to move in. But at the very least, it is a more concerning issue for significant wind gusts. That is the main threat that we're seeing here at this time over this storm. Again, this tornado warning runs until 10 o'clock. We're getting a new update from the Weather Service. It says that this line of storms capable of producing both tornadoes and extensive straight line wind damage was located 7 miles to the northeast of Russellville. So let's zoom in a bit closer. Okay, so 7 miles northeast of Russellville. We'll see that on the new scan here in just a second, and moving east at 70 miles an hour. All right, so places that need to be in your safety spot. Okay, let's go east of 431 here. Coopertown Road, that is inside of Logan County, Kentucky, Homer Road, J. Will Stewart Road, Lester Knight Road, W.F. Hall Road. You need to be in your safety area right now. And that continues up into this area, Lack Road also. Shelby has some landmarks in this particular spot too.
So I wanted to let you know, Marcus, some of the spots that this is going to be getting close to is H&H, Green Ridge Cumberland Church, P Ridge House of Prayer, Bennett Cemetery, Walnut Grove Baptist Church, Triple D Speedway, Willow Creek Mennonite Church, Darling Ingredients, Head Cemetery, Chandler's Elementary School, C&K Oasis, Oak Grove Baptist Church, Plainview General Baptist Church, Econo Lodge, Plainview Mennonite Church, Happy Ridge Ragdolls, and that's just a few more spots. But again, we're going to continue to stay with this tornado warning. There's also quite a few severe thunderstorm warnings across Middle Tennessee.
Shelby, thank you very much for that. Chief Meteorologist Danielle Breezy has just arrived, so she will be here helping to lead our coverage as well here in just a moment. Again, radar indicated rotation. We do not see anything confirming that there's a tornado at this time. However, we have significant straight line wind, and you'll note that here as I just kind of draw along the leading edge. So this is now moving in between Russellville and Auburn, this area of red. That is your straight line wind concern as it's moving toward the Auburn area right now, and then will eventually come up and clip. This is even going to clip west portions of Simpson County. Here's Franklin, where I believe you are, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning at this time. But up to the north and to the northwest here, this is where the tornado warning is in effect, and we could have a brief spin up, not completely ruled out here over this area. Again, Logan County into Warren County, northwest, extreme northwest portion of Simpson County inside of southern Kentucky. Go back over to the radar. Let's kind of zoom in out once again. Let me come back in and check in on Clarksville, Montgomery County. We're looking at this storm here. You are just dealing with a lot of rain passing through your area at this moment. There is how everything is progressing. Wouldn't be surprised if we picked up easily a quick inch or so. A lot of ponding on the area roadways as well as this storm is continuing to move through. Now heading into Springfield. Let me put a stop here to the radar and let's go in a bit closer here on this particular area because we're still looking at some strong winds at the leading edge of this line. So Springfield, Coopertown, Pleasant View, now heading toward Cross Plains. All right, you need to be prepared for this. And this is going to be going toward I-65. So heads up for White House. You are in this severe thunderstorm warning. Sumner County. You are not in a warning just yet, but you will be, or at least portions of Sumner County. You're not in the warning just yet, but more of Sumner County will be added in because we're looking at a significant push of wind that is moving through right now, and this is going to continue to head over to the east, so it will come up to I-65 here very shortly. You notice it's on this path to move toward Orlinda and also continue on toward White House. So Highway 76, Highway 31W, 431, Highway 49. This is where we're looking at the significant wind that is ongoing here in this area. We just got an update on the severe thunderstorm warning in southern Kentucky for the southern portion of Logan County and for Simpson County and southern portions of Warren County. We're still looking at a tornado possible here, but this is mainly significant damaging wind gusts that we are looking at here along this line, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and this is moving very fast at 60 miles an hour. Notice here, something that is worth watching. Areas of red and green starting to pick up here. Not too much of a concern yet, but we'll watch it, and it just moved on me, so that new scan there taking the storm a little bit farther east. So this is now moving up into Auburn. Wouldn't surprise me if we may have a spinning, rotating wall cloud here near the Auburn area. Shelby?
A few more landmarks, Marcus, of where the storm is exactly. So it's going to be getting closer to the Steenbergen Sunflower Farm, NATO Roofing, Southern States Co-op, Muddy River Church, Affordable Tire and Exhaust, Logan County Career and Technical Center, Logan County High School. And as it continues to push eastward, getting closer to Auburn, it's going to get near after-hour truck and trailer repair, Country Breeze Market, Cole Lumber in Auburn, Watson Metals LLC, Harold Tow and Son Logging, Cedar Valley Customs, Downey Trucking, Zero G Inflatables, Macedonia Baptist Church, LTC Connect, Mennonite Mart, Roxanne's Pizza and Pub, and Auburn Healthcare. So we're going to continue to stay with this storm because there is that potential for some rotation.
We just got a new tornado warning in the northern portion of Robertson County. If you're in Orlando, we've been talking about the wind gusts being an issue. Look at that circulation there that has started to pick up more. Northwest of Orlando, right near the Tennessee and the Kentucky state line. We're just northwest of Highway 52. New tornado warning out here for this portion of Robertson County. This will include I-65 from the Tennessee-Kentucky state line down to about exit 117, I believe, here, or around 116. This is a tornado warning. That circulation there just started to ramp up a lot more. We were looking along the edge. You can get spin ups along this leading edge of the line, and that is the issue that we are seeing develop here right now. No debris, at least detected here at this current moment, but we are definitely seeing that potential for the rotating thunderstorm and the rotation here. Again, new tornado warning now out for Robertson County until 10:15. If you are near and north of Highway 52, you need to be in your safety precaution. Danielle is here. Good morning, Danielle. We've already had a busy morning. Shelby's been keeping an eye on it, and things are going to be active all day.
I was going to say things are going to be very active all day. So if we can go over to Max 2 real fast, I will show you exactly what we were just talking about. We were examining it for you, and you can see the big picture is this. If you are south of I-40, you're waking up to nothing this morning. Things are pretty quiet. But if you are north of I-40 right now, I need you to be paying attention to the weather because there's a complex line that is moving through as we speak. Several severe thunderstorm warnings along it, as well as tornado warnings along it. And you notice, first of all, there's so much lightning with this one. It's going to be noisy, torrential downpours. If there are tornadoes coming down and dropping down, you're not going to be able to see them because it gets so dark, and there'll be probably rain wraps. So let's get right to this, and I'll show you exactly what you can expect here as we zoom into this. This is the tornado warning, the newest one that just came out for Robertson County. Orlando, I need you to take your tornado precautions. Going down to the lowest level, center of a room with no windows. What we are looking at here on the map is when you see this little bulge on the radar, this bulge right in here is where the potential rotation would be. It's kind of sticking out from the main line here. So again, Orlando, excuse me, you're going to need to take your tornado precautions. I would tell you Mitchellville to take your tornado precautions. This will go over 65. This is 65, 31 west, and there's 25. It's just to the north of 25, just to the north of Cross Plains. There's a little bit of hail with this, but the big story is the greens and reds. And you see them when they're kind of linking up like this around Orlando, just to the north of it. That's where the potential tornado would be. And you need to get down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows. Do it now because this can quickly move. I mean, they're moving so fast today. So again, this is going to be around Rubensville. Hopefully I said that right, at 9:55. Mitchellville, you'll see this at about 9:58. And then we've got this tornado warning up here. This is in effect until 10 a.m. Was looking at this one a little bit more. Looks like it may be loosening up on its rotation. However, you never want to let your guard down because these things can quickly cycle and cycle right back up. There are severe thunderstorm warnings along it too because we're also talking about damaging winds at 70 miles an hour. So that's some very strong gusty winds along this entire line. And we did just get a new severe thunderstorm warning, which I can't take you to right now, but I'll just show you exactly what's going on with this tornado warning storm. You see there's bright reds in here right around Auburn area. This could be moving towards downtown Bowling Green. So Bowling Green, I need you to take those tornado precautions. Auburn, same idea with you. Lowest level center of a room with no windows. Although as I look back on the debris tracker here, it doesn't look like, at one point I know this had a large confirmed tornado on the ground. Right now it doesn't look like that would be happening, but I still need you to take those tornado precautions going down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows. Scottsville, you'll see this at about 10:14. 10:16 will be in Oakland. Holland, you'll see this at 10:20, and then Tracy would see this at 10:26. Again, this is the storms that we're watching up this way, and there's a big amount of them just to the north here. And as you look at them, you can kind of see they're just very noisy, they're very loud, and we're tracking that very much. So, you know, obviously Marcus has been with Shelby all morning long. You guys have been seeing quite a bit, but we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. We've got 2 tornado warnings. Anybody else seeing anything that we need to pay attention to right now?
No, not at this time. We have the northern areas under the severe thunderstorm warning. We just got a new one, as you mentioned, for the northern portion of Nashville, heading to Wilson, Smith, Trousdale, Macon, and Sumner County. Let me bring in Logan. If you could bring up Max 3 just for a quick moment. That way folks can see. This is a look from Bowling Green. They are looking, it looks like they're looking more south at this point. Hopefully they'll get that camera turned a little bit more, but we definitely have a lot of heavy rain that is passing through that particular location. Again, if you're just getting going with your day, we have a lot of counties under a tornado watch now until 3 o'clock this afternoon. I don't think this is the only watch that we are going to see. We will probably have another watch that's in place, but the conditions are favorable for some additional storm development in the next few hours that will support this. Now, mainly at this point, this continues along and north of the Interstate 40 area. Let's come back in closer here where we're seeing that circulation continue, and it still is holding pretty good. This is approaching I-65 here, so this is now past Orlinda. Orlinda, you're in the clear from the tornadic part of the storm. You still have a severe thunderstorm warning, but now coming up along Highway 52, as Danielle pointed out here, that circulation does still continue at this time. And folks, if you are in this spot, you need to be taking shelter immediately here over this area as this storm does continue and has the potential to spin up a tornado. Latest info, we had that 7 minutes ago, that there was strong rotation located near Orlinda. That's what prompted the warning. We had reports of 60-mile-an-hour gusts near Springfield not too long ago. And there's the new scan that's just coming in here over this particular area. This is a look right near Interstate 65. And because it is moving so fast, we're going to see this cross over the interstate here in just a moment. I want to bring in a camera real quick, and give me just a second while I load it in. This is going to be from Kentucky, but this is right at the Simpson and the Robertson-Sumner County line. This is right at the Welcome Center there, where we have the rotating part of the thunderstorm moving in. And here's a close look at what we're seeing at this time. So you can notice here, let's see if I can step up somewhere. Can I come over to the storyteller real quick? So we're looking southbound here at this current moment over this particular storm, and you notice, as you notice off to the right hand side, this is looking back to the west. This is where that storm is beginning to move in. So we're going to see it cross over the interstate. Portland is here on the left-hand side of what you're viewing here from at home. This is where the storm is crossing over. So folks that may be traveling along Interstate 65 right now, you need to be at a stop here and get over to perhaps the shelter or the Welcome Center, or get off here at exit 121 and get over to perhaps the Speedway gas station that's nearby. But this storm is heading in this particular direction at this time, and that's going to cause a concern. Let's go back over to the velocity here. On any of the Max computers is fine. That way we can see that circulation. But Max 1, it looks like, may have the better bet on where that circulation is. And you can notice it is crossing toward I-65 here. So Mitchell, Portland, this is where that circulation is located. And now the Weather Service has put out a new tornado warning, continuing on for Robertson and Sumner County. Again, it's radar indicated at this point.
It is radar indicated at this point, but they did feel the need to increase that. They're calling it a Doppler radar indicated storm. It's now for Robertson and Sumner counties. But the idea is this, that circulation you were just talking about, Marcus, looks like it's trying to tighten up a little bit. We look for the greens, we look for the reds in the radar here. And when you find them like this is where they would possibly be linking up and where there could be the possible tornado. So again, my friends up in Robertson and Sumner County, I need you to take those tornado precautions and do it quickly. Shelby and I were just talking about this. These storms are racing at 55 to 60 miles an hour, so you do not have a lot of time once we issue a tornado warning or a tornado warning gets issued for your county. So I need you to do it quickly. If I say it's time to get down to the safe zone, please do it. Listen to us, because it's really important, because we've already had a large confirmed tornado on the ground this morning up in southern Kentucky. This is going over the same entire air mass. So we're watching this spin here. There's the bright green. There's the bright red. This is going to go over 65. I wonder if we have a camera for this too to show as it goes over, because we might be able to catch this one. Again, this is the greens and reds, what we look at. Oh boy, it's now literally going over 65 as we speak. So watching this right now as I get tight on where it is, it's centered over Mitchell. It's literally right on top of you. If you live in Mitchell right now, I need you to get down to the lowest level, center of a room with no window. Okay, what are we showing here? Go ahead, Marcus.
This is 65. On the right-hand side is where the storm is coming. You can notice all the wind pushing those trees toward the interstate.
Oh
so
my
this is now
gosh.
crossing over to the east. So at the very least, it's significant wind, but there you can notice that's what's happening at this moment. It's updating every couple of seconds.
Marcus, that looks actually very scary. You see that rain coming down. It's blinding rain. So if there is a tornado trying to circulate onto the ground, you are not going to see that tornado. That's for sure, because that is what it looks like out there. That is some dangerous situation out there. Folks, please, if you are around I-65 between Robertson and Sumner County up north, I need you to take those tornado precautions going down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows. Okay, let's go back to Max 1 if we can, because I want to get down to the street level a little bit more with this. I mean, this is right on the border, guys, of southern Kentucky. You know, if you live along Kentucky and really the Tennessee state line right in here, okay, so there's Robertson County, that's Simpson County, and that's going to be Sumner County. This area in here, Mitchellville, I need you to get down to the lowest level, center of a room with no windows. Now, I'm going to look at the debris tracker here just to see if anything's showing up on this storm in particular. Hard to tell now if it is, but this is going to be, if I'm, okay, and Shelby's got some landmarks. Go ahead, Shelby. Where do people need to take cover at near?
So you need to make sure that you're in your safe place. If you're close to the Tennessee Welcome Center, that's the one that's on I-65. Again, we just saw where that tornado was likely making its way across, getting closer to Mitchellville. Also, the Jackpot Market, that's going to be off of Highway 31 West. You've got Rest Lawn Monuments. There's a FedEx Online that's just off of Highway 31 West. Buccaneers Imported Wine and Spirits. Depot Industries. And then this is going to continue to make its way closer to Speedy. Continue to push right on in, getting close to Steve's Pawn Shop. The Mint Gaming Hall in Kentucky Downs. Spring Hill Suites in Franklin Mint. And then the storm will continue to push closer to Nashville Road, just to the east of I-65. Cartier Boutique, Mitchellville Fire Department is another spot that this storm is going to continue to get closer and closer to. And again, we are starting to see a little bit of that rotation. These storms have been moving very quickly. This one is moving 60 miles per hour. So we need to make sure to keep our eyes peeled. And if you're hearing anywhere that sounds remotely close to you, make sure to be down in your safe place, because a storm moving 60 miles per hour could be towards you very, very quickly, Danielle.
Oh man, that is scary. I mean, these are the storms. These storms are racing. And just to give people perspective real quick, so if you're waking up with us and you're watching, you're saying, what's going on here? To the south of I-40, so far nothing happening for you. Things are quiet. But to the north of I-40, we've got this strong, developed complex of storms rolling across from west to east. And as they've come through our area, most of them have either had severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings attached to it. And when we say severe thunderstorm warnings, we're talking about wind gusts in excess of 70 miles an hour. That can do a lot of damage too. So folks, if you are east of this complex of storms, I really need you to get ready, because it's coming on top of you, and it's going to come on top of you very, very quickly. These are the storms that we've been watching. We've been tracking them for you. And the big story is this. We do have, you know, the tornado warning for Robertson and Sumner County. Now that really butts up to Simpson County too here. There's 31 West, there's 65, there's Mitchellville, there's Portland. Portland, I would tell you to take your tornado precautions. Right in this area here, you see this little notch here? That is where the potential tornado would be. And you can kind of see that now. See, it moves fast. I already had circled it before, but it's already moved with the latest radar scan. So let me circle exactly where this would be. It looks like it'd be right in this area here. So again, as I look down into some streets here, this is going to be, if you're in Mitchellville here, so this is going to be near Coker, Ford Road, Rapids Road, Oak Drive, Webb Road, Lear Road, Snyder Perry Road, Highway 259, Denning Ford Road, Russell Street, Piper Road, North Leith Road, Ranch Road. If I'm saying your street name, you should be taking your tornado precautions. You don't have much time, because this is rolling at 60 miles an hour. North Corinth Road, Keene Road, North Boiling Springs Road, Kepley Lane. I mean, this is coming to you at Martin Chapel Road, Highland Road, just a heads up here. Again, this is really crossing. It's now crossing from really Robertson County. Now it's really into northern Sumner County, and, you know, basically hugging the Kentucky-Tennessee state line. There's Portland, there's Franklin, Kentucky. It's right in here where that notch would be that we'd have to watch for the potential tornado. And just looking at something here, I don't think they have a tornado warning on this, but I just want to go back up this way because I was looking at the one scan here and it looked a little dicey around the Bowling Green area too. There's some greens and reds starting to look like they're tightening up. So I would tell you, even in Bowling Green, just to be careful. It's a very noisy line as it comes over you. I mean, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for you. I know that. And okay, and they are saying tornado possible with it, so that makes sense. So wind gusts to 60 up this way as well. So friends in Bowling Green, I would start taking your tornado precautions just in case. The Woodburn area as well. I mean, we have the tornado warning down here. We've got noisy storms, just so you're aware, back through Clarksville, back through Springfield. The good news is with these are severe thunderstorm warnings, but the threat tag with all of these as they come across is considerable because the wind gusts are as high as 70 miles an hour. That can do a lot of damage, folks. So again, if you're living any of these areas that are under the warnings, you need to get inside, get away from the windows. It's a dangerous, noisy storm that is moving on top of you and moving on top of you quickly. But I will say the big story is we have the tornado warning up for this area here. So we're going to continue to stay with this because it's in effect until 10:15 in the morning. So again, it is Doppler radar indicated, which means it has to deal with the greens and the reds. The greens and reds are the winds going to and from the radar. When you see them kind of touching like that, there's where the potential tornado would be. Now, it's already east of you in Mitchellville. And what I would tell you is if I put a storm track on this as to where it would be going next, I mean, I'm going to take this out in the time a little bit so people have their chances to get ready. This is going to be heading towards Brackentown at about 10:06. It's going to be in Pondville at 10:11, Adolphus 10:16, Rocky Mount 10:22, Underwood 10:34, and Hayesville. You would see this at about 10:28. So friends, you don't have much time. These things are going at 60 miles an hour. It is Doppler radar indicated, but along this line, I'm seeing several notches, which is a little scary to me. Even around the Bowling Green area, I'm seeing some notches, some bright reds around the Woodburn area, which would indicate some strong damaging winds. And then in particular here, this is another area. Okay, and then what do we have on Max 3, if we can talk about that?
This is the WKU weather camera, white squirrel weather, and you can notice we're looking south. We're looking south here because of this is taken from the upper part of campus, but you can definitely notice there is some swirling that is happening here in this particular thunderstorm as it moves through. Again, as you've mentioned, Danielle, there's no tornado warning, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado possible. And if we're looking south, the core of the storm actually is going to be to the on the right-hand side here of the screen. That's where the potential rotating part of the storm, the area that you're pointing out where circulation is, maybe over in this particular area. So coming up on the west-southwest side of Bowling Green. So we're looking south, and if you look to the right, that's to the south and southwest of the WKU campus there, and this storm is rolling right up into this particular vicinity. So Russellville Road, 6880 there. That's going to be an area of concern here at this point as this storm moves in.
Thank you for showing that picture, Marcus. I appreciate that. That shows you what it looks like out there. And we just got a tornado warning. I wonder where that one's going to be going to. I'm looking at that right now. That's going to be Macon and Sumner counties. Okay, so hang on one second. I'm going to get over there to show you. Okay, so basically what they're doing with this storm that we've been watching and we've been tracking for you along, I mean, it's continuing to show its rotation. So again, this is Macon and Sumner County. Where Marcus was showing you, that's up at WKU, up in Bowling Green. That's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. You still need to take cover because that could easily spin down and create a tornado. He was showing you that cloud, those dark clouds and those lowerings on the side of the camera there. But this is now a tornado warning again. It's Doppler radar indicated for Macon and Sumner counties. Here's the bulge right in here, as you can see. It's now past Portland. It's now past Mitchellville. But Adolphus, you are in the direct path of this storm. It's going to be paralleling 52, and it would go over Highway 231 here as it pushes into Macon County from Sumner County. Now, just to show you the greens, the reds, and all that good stuff, this is the green and red. The green, remember, is the wind going to the radar. The red is the wind going away. And when you see them kind of touching, and they're kind of touching in two different areas here, that's where that possible rotation would be here. So again, it's east of Mitchellville. Mitchellville, Portland, you're technically in the clear for the tornado warned storm. You're not in the clear for 70-mile-per-hour winds and still, you know, hail and all that good stuff. But this is what we're watching. This is the storm, and it is pushing east and pushing east quickly. Remember, these storms are going at 55 to 60 miles an hour. So if we start to say your county and you see it here, I need you you to start taking those tornado precautions. I'm going to real quick do a storm track out because I want to tell some of the streets in the path of this storm that's tornado warned as we speak. And again, it's paralleling the Kentucky-Tennessee state line. So this is northern Sumner County. If you live on the northern edge of Sumner County and the northern side of Macon County, I need you to get down into the lowest level center of a room with no windows. Brackentown, you're going to see this at 10:07. Pondville, 10:10. Adolphus, 10:17. Rocky Mount would see this at 10:22. Hayesville, 10:28. And then Underwood, you would see this at about 10:34. So again, it's pushing pretty quickly. I want to talk about the streets here, and if you have any landmarks for me, I'd love to hear some too. This is what we got here street-wise. We've got Highland Road, it's right over you. Fairfield Road, it's right over you. And just so I'm telling you the right thing, this is still in Sumner County. So I'm telling you Sumner County streets. Keene Hollow Road, Fairfield Road, Sam Tuttle Road, let's see, Robert Simons Road. And Shelby, you've got some landmarks, right?
So Danielle, if you need some landmarks for where the storm is going, we've got the Bath Bomb Central, Gabbard's Beads and Leather, Mitch's Metal and Lumber, Young's Country Store, Meadowbrook Game Farm, Sugar Grove Tavern is where this is starting to go, closer to Adolphus. You've got Cook's Bar and Pool Hall, 31E One Stop, Quail Hollow Candle Factory, River Cottage Fiber, Flourishing Herbs. And so we're going to continue to watch this storm because, again, it's moving 60 miles per hour. So if you've heard any landmark, even though they might be a little bit farther east, you need to be in your safe place because this storm is moving extremely quickly.
Yeah, and I was going to say, looking up towards the north, towards even the Bowling Green area again, lots of notching starting to happen on this storm here. As I look at the velocity product, there's lots of greens and reds getting closer and closer to each other. So this could be circulating in several different areas. I know this is just a severe thunderstorm warning technically, but it does have a tornado possible tag with it. And so I would be concerned basically from Bowling Green all the way down to where we're seeing it. Now, this notch in particular is pretty pronounced here, and that's going to be pushing east. So Adolphus, I need you to get down in the lowest level center of a room with no windows. You don't have much time at all. I would even tell you in Scottsville to start taking your tornado precautions. I'd tell you in Settle to take your tornado precautions. And even, I hope you've already done that in Bowling Green because there is still some mini circulations along this line. Now, I just want to see if there's anything showing up on debris tracker here just yet, but I'm not seeing anything over this. So again, still Doppler radar indicated this tornado warned storm. But this is the notch, and it's pretty pronounced right in here on the radar as you look from Macon and Sumner County. So this is in Sumner County, and they're continuing it, obviously, is what they're saying. Doppler radar indicated. If you guys see anything, too, in the National Weather Service chat, let me know. But again, there's that notch, and that's where the possible tornado would be. So Adolphus, you need to get down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows, and do it now. You don't have any time. It's basically coming on top of you. I know we've got new severe thunderstorm warnings coming in, too, which I'll show in just a second. But we've got a lot going on, but this notch in particular is not looking good. It looks like it's trying to tighten up again. So this area here, it's going to be on the west side of Adolphus. It's literally on top of you at Pleasant Ridge Church Road, Fairfield Road. I mean, this is really hugging the Kentucky-Tennessee state line, okay? So this is going to be over Herschel Lyles Road, Gaines Hill Road, Fairfield Road, Calvert Ridge Road, Gaines Hill Road. Then it's going to go over Garrett's Creek Road, John Davis Road, Dave Beasley Road, Adolphus, you're in the direct path, Garrett's Creek Road, 231, going to go over you next. Then it's going to go towards Poplar Grove Road, Buck Hayes Road, Mack Hollow Road, Hawkins Road, Dry Rock Road, and then continue. So this would go right from basically Sumner County into Macon County. So it's on the really northeastern side of Sumner County, getting ready to go into Macon County, and also impacting parts of southern Kentucky up there. We're talking about Allen County. Allen County is kind of getting involved because it's kind of hugging you as well. So I would tell you, Adolphus, Scottsville, take your tornado precautions and do it now. And Shelby, go ahead with some streets.
So I wanted to let you know that a few more spots that this could be passing through is Sugar Grove Tavern. So it's going to be making its way right over Sugar Grove right now. You need to be in your safe place. That includes Pea Ridge Road. Also, you've got Old Highway 31 East. That's going to go right through Sugar Grove. And just like Danielle was showing, this tornado is likely to be right over Fairfield Road. So you need to be in your safe place if you're hearing anything recognizable. Cook's Bar Bar and Pool Hall, John Beasley Road, Morris Road, Dave Beasley Road, Pleasant Grove Road, Fallis Road, Spears Lane, and this is going to be just south of Adolphus. Another place that is going to be a popular spot is Andrew Jackson Highway. Again, that's going to be just south of Adolphus. That is where we are seeing this tornado rotation potential. And then if it does start to push a little bit more northeastward, it would get close to River Cottage Fiber as well, Danielle.
I just want to make sure we're watching this storm. Again, it is tornado warned. I know, Marcus, I think you've been watching this storm too, right?
Danielle, I have. Let's go back up. I want to show you the camera again. They've switched the camera over from WKU. Now it's really hard to see because it is just blinding rain. That circulation now, if there's any sort of rotation that may spin up in Warren County, Kentucky, in Bowling Green, that is going to be on the east side of the city and on the east side of the county here particularly. Again, we're watching a couple of different areas of circulation that is drawing our concern for us here at this moment. Let me reset here on the camera. That way I can zoom out for you. There's several different areas of circulation that we're watching for you here at this time. Again, that continues at this point, coming in from Warren County, Kentucky, Bowling Green, coming down into Allen County, and then the area of concern that we're watching for specifically is this tornado warning here in the northeast portion of Sumner County. Westmoreland, the rotating part of the storm is going to stay to your northwest, but if you're going to come up along Highway 271 near the Siloam area, Westmoreland up to the northwest, this is where that circulation is. And again, this circulation doesn't look to be all too impressive, but it has the potential to spin up once again. So north of Highway 52 and heading toward Highway 231 is where we're seeing this rotation. And you can notice just how fast that it's moving. It's moving so fast that it's really hard to get a good picture on this, but this is racing toward Highway 231 right now. And again, it's rather broad-based in nature. But either way, you still need to be prepared in watching this severe thunderstorm, or excuse me, tornado warning very carefully, along with the severe thunderstorm that is passing through as well. Let's zoom the view out for you just a little bit more, and we'll come back up into the southern Kentucky area also. And the storm here, still strong winds, 60-mile-an-hour winds, definitely a possibility here in this particular area. But if you're in southern Kentucky, no tornado warnings active, but each of these warnings have what we call the tornado possible tag, where you may see a tornado spin up. I would essentially, in a day like today, treat it as if it's a tornado warning because the wind is going to move. Going to drive these storms very quickly. Not only are you going to see the potential of wind gusts of 60 miles an hour, but the storm motion is moving fast at about 70 miles an hour. We're talking about the speed that you would use on the interstate. So that is a big issue. If the storm is moving that fast and you have a strong burst of wind that's coming down, it's going to come through very quickly, and the circulation or a brief tornado may be very brief or not even able to be detected by the radar just because of how fast that it's moving and the latest scans that we continue to see. Let me come back over to the actual radar. That way we can see what we're actually looking at here on the thunderstorm. We'll show you the traditional view storm tracker radar network for us here. It's 10:15 on Sunday morning as we continue to track these severe thunderstorms. Warren County, Simpson County, Allen County, Barron County also included in this, and Monroe County over in portions of southern Kentucky as well. You're in a severe thunderstorm warning, and then the area that is of concern for the tornado warning, that's going to be located here northwest of Westmoreland. Okay, heavy rain here in between Adolphus, Siloam, and Westmoreland. Heavy rain, maybe some hail, not completely ruled out, but the potential there of rotation could occur in the storm. The latest on the rotation tracker doesn't look like it's showing anything too aggressive here, but there are some areas of rotation that we are still watching for you here quite carefully. And again, it's very broad-based in nature at this time, but it could tighten back up here in just a moment. Shelby, did you have more things you wanted to add here?
Marcus, I just wanted to let you know that in the National Weather Service chat, they were talking about the fact that this storm that we've been watching with the tornado warning has actually weakened just a little bit. So as it continues to push eastward, those winds have slowed down. For now, it looks like we're going to hold on to this warning, but the winds are not moving at 70 miles per hour like they were earlier. Even turning on the velocity products, you can notice that not too much is happening as far as rotation any longer. If there is some rotation, it's probably going to be where this bright red is, just south of Adolphus, closer to Dave Beasley Road, W. Garrett's Creek Road, East Garrett's Creek Road, or Buck Haynes Road. Danielle?
Thank you so much, Shelby. And I want to show you exactly the big picture here. So folks that are waking up with us this morning are seeing the storms. The storms are really along I-40 and to the north. To the south, you're not seeing anything yet. But just remember, the atmosphere that we're working with this morning that's producing several severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings is likely to continue throughout this afternoon and evening. So nobody lets their guard down, because we're going to have another round or two of storms rolling in as we go into the afternoon and evening hours. But this first round has been pretty potent. It's already dropped at least one confirmed tornado in our viewing area. And what we're watching for right now is the threat of severe thunderstorm warnings. And we have one tornado warning that we're sticking with from Macon and Sumner County. Now, this is in effect until 10:30. Like Shelby mentioned, the National Weather Service was looking at it. Marcus and I were both looking at this, and it looks like that rotation is beginning to weaken. The bulge that I was talking about isn't as pronounced as it once was. Now, this storm has already pushed through Adolphus, okay? So it's already past you. It is now pushing east. So Lafayette, I would tell you, you're up next. Holland, I would tell you, you're up next. Scottsville, you're about to get in some heavy-duty storms as well, and so we're going to be watching it carefully for you. But as I look at the greens and reds, this is what I'm talking about. It's not as tight as it once was, and even up along this whole path, it looks like it's starting to separate a little bit more, which is good news. Could be a little bit of a weakening in terms of rotation. Now, does not mean you're not going to still have impressive winds with this. Wind gusts to 70 miles an hour. It's still going to pack a punch, and it's still going to be dumping rain on you. But the idea is, from Settle now to Scottsville down to Adolphus, it looks like the rotation is really beginning to weaken in this area. Now, I did put a storm track on this because, again, we talked about how fast these are moving at about 60 miles an hour. So it's going to be in Scottsville at about 10:18. It's basically on top of you. Holland, you'll see this at 10:27. Williams at 10:31. Tracy, 10:33. Sunrise, you would see this at 10:39. Gamelia, you'd see this at 10:45. And then Sulphur Lick would see this at 10:48. Do have severe thunderstorm warnings, though, still in effect until 10:30 for Allen, Simpson, and Warren County. Notice that even the severe thunderstorm warning does have the tornado possible tag with it. And, of course, wind gusts to 60 miles an hour. The main line, though, pushing into Settle, Scottsville area, still with the severe thunderstorm warning for Allen, Barron, Monroe, and Warren counties. That's tornado possible tag 2, wind gusts to 60. And again, we are watching these storms because even down to the south, I don't want to forget about my friends in Middle Tennessee, Macon, Robertson, Smith, Sumner, Trousdale, and Wilson County. You are under the severe thunderstorm warning that is still packing a punch of wind gusts to 60, some hail with it, not to mention dumping rains just to the north of the Goodlettsville area, pushing into the Gallatin area, and then pushing out to the east as well. Not really much in the way of hail with that one. And just looking at the debris tracker, because I love to see what's going on, doesn't look like we're seeing much in the way of rotation in the storm. It looks like, though, they're still keeping with the tornado warning because I see it flashing. So they're keeping with it. They've shrunk it down as it pushes into Macon County now. So this is just for Macon County, the tornado warning, that is. So again, right in this square here, that's where you're going to need to take those tornado precaution. There's the little notch. And I'm going to look at the greens and reds one more time, and we'll get down to some streets just so I can show you. It's kind of hard to tell here, but if it was over top of you, it's going to be right over. And this is in Macon County now. Street names: Poplar Grove Road, Rocky Mound Road, West Fork Creek Road, Hanestown, Clifty Road, Hyerstown Road, Oakdale Road, Cold Springs Road, Green Valley Road, Scottsville Road, and then be a North Long Creek Road, Woodside Lane, and Green Valley Road. So again, this is where it's headed, and I'll just put the radar back on, and I'll do a storm track again for this area in particular. And this again is going to go east. Now this looks like it should stay north of Lafayette and north of Red Boiling Springs. And go ahead, Shelby, with some landmarks.
So a few spots that this is going to be continuing to push closer to, and it's really going to be more of a wind threat when it gets close to Hayesville. But some spots it's going to be crossing over are Plain Good Produce, Meemaw's, Karma's Pet Hotel, Clark Lumber Company, LLC, Macon Drive-In, Everlasting Impressions Embroidery, Red Hill Farms, Donald Wicks Jr. Tile Hardwood. And again, this is just close to the Tennessee and Kentucky state line. And this rotation is starting to fall apart, but it looks like we are going to be sticking with this tornado warning, at least for the next 8 minutes, Danielle.
Yeah, that's what they just said. They're going to let it go. They said the small area of rotation in northern Macon has really weakened. Unless it kicks back up, they're going to let it go in about 8 minutes. So again, we'll watch this for you, but these are the areas. Shelby just mentioned landmarks. If you live by them, I would still get down to the lowest level center of a room with no windows. These storms today are packing a punch. There's a lot of spin in the atmosphere. It might be weakening right now, and then it may tighten right back up and could easily drop down a tornado. We've already seen it earlier today. So Hayesville, 1026 for you. Maple Grove, 1029. We've got it in Pumpkintown at about 1037. Sunrise, 1038. And then it'd be in Spivey at about 1043. So again, this is north of Lafayette, Red Boiling Springs area, north of you as well. But I would still tell you guys to take your tornado precautions. This is the entire big line. So if I do a whole storm tracker on this as to where it's going, I mean, this is going towards the plateau next. So, I mean, this will be heading towards you folks in Castilian Springs in 1028. Lafayette, you'll see this at 1034. Temple Hill, 1041. Tompkinsville, 1052. Milltown, 11 o'clock. Salina, you'll see this at 1108. Hillham, 1121. Albany, Kentucky, you'd see this at 1129. And then Livingston, you'd see this at about 1130. And again, these are still, even if the tornado warning drops, it's a severe thunderstorm warning with wind gusts to at least 60 miles an hour. So there's a lot going on for sure. And I know Marcus is with us too. Marcus, you've been tracking these storms, and I'm just curious what you're seeing on your side.
Yeah, Danielle, just looking at the radar and how things are progressing here, we're noticing that could be a little hook that's along and just north of Highway 52. This is outside of the tornado warning. Let me show you the velocity or the wind tracker there on this particular storm. And there is some areas of circulation here. Again, it's still rather what appears to be broad. I'm looking for more brighter greens to be a little bit more of a concern here, but in this particular situation, it's not going to take some bright greens for us to see maybe a very weak tornado develop in this particular weather environment that we are in for today. That'll be a spot that we want to watch very carefully. We've been talking about what's been happening up to the north and northwest, so now northeast of Siloam, heading up into Macon County here. That is certainly starting to broaden out just a little bit more, but we may have a second area. So let me come back to the radar, kind of zoom it out for you just a little bit more, because what's interesting to note here about this particular storm is how things are evolving at this current point. So you have that wind flow that's coming up into the storm that allows for the rotation to potentially develop, and now perhaps we're seeing that new circulation occur here on the southern side. We're in a severe thunderstorm warning here, tornado possible over this spot, but this is moving along, or parallel I should say, to Highway 52, and it's going to be moving in between Siloam and Lafayette. So I'm sure the Weather Service is watching that particular location too, even though there's not a tornado warning specifically on that area. But again, the velocity will be something that we'll need to watch for there on that particular storm. Let me come back over to the west here. I wanted to give you a look back along Highway 60, or Highway I-65, I should say, moving through portions of Robertson and Sumner County. We are dealing with a lot of heavy rain at this current time. It is a mess along portions of Interstate 65. This is a look in White House at Highway 76, mile marker 108, or exit 108 there. You can clearly notice that the torrential downpours still continue over this stretch. Still a severe thunderstorm warning does continue in that particular location. But again, an area of concern right now. Again, we have this tornado warning that continues for just a couple more minutes over portions of Macon County. But that new southern area, that may be a new spot that we need to watch for, Danielle.
All right, and I was going to tell you this, Marcus. The good news is with this storm, they just talked about this, that they're going to expire the tornado warning. So even though it's sitting on our screen right here, they're expiring this tornado warning in Macon County. They're saying that the rotation has weakened enough. So what we're saying now is just the big picture here, and I want to make sure everybody sees this, is we have no tornado warnings as of right now in our viewing area, which is good news. However, we do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, and so we'll show you those real fast and just continue to keep you updated, of course, with what's happening. So again, the tornado warning has been dropped for Macon County. What we do have is a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for Macon, Robertson, Smith, Sumner, Trousdale, and Wilson County until 10:45 in the morning. And it's still going to have damaging winds, and it's not to say something couldn't start to spin again, so do not let your guard down just yet. But we've got this storm that is severe thunderstorm warned, and then finally we've got the one up in southern Kentucky as well. That one has been dropped and expired. It's this one for Allen, Barron, Monroe, and Warren counties until 10:45. This does have the tornado possible tag, so of course we're going to continue to watch it, but it's a severe thunderstorm warning for wind gusts to 60 and quarter-inch channel. I'm going to give you one more thing. I want to show you a storm track on all these storms as to where they're going, but the tornado warning has been dropped, which is great news, but this is where the path of the heaviest storms will be. They're going to be heading towards Lafayette at 10:31, so get ready for noisy storms. Red Boiling Springs, 10:42. Tompkinsville, 10:48. Salina, you'll see this at about 11:05, and then Albany, you would see this at about 11:26. So with that in mind, we don't have the tornado warning anymore. We just have some severe thunderstorm warnings. Marcus, Shelby, and I are going to let this go back to the race for you, and then we're going to come back on as need be. And remember, please pay attention to the weather throughout the remainder of the day, well into the night, because we're expecting more rounds of significant storms.
This has been a News 2 Weather Alert.
And he had. And Charles goes, knowing my luck around here, yeah, I better do that up. But that was in his mind, how unlucky he's been. But today, it wasn't luck, it was just sheer brilliance.
It was judgment to go with it. Lots of Ferrari fans here, and science. Charles Leclerc, and thanks Charles, and Forza Charles, all around the 2-mile circuit, as you would expect, and his home race. And look, it wasn't spectacular. It was never going to be a spectacular 78 laps. It had incidents. It didn't have much overtaking, but it had the right result for most of the fans.
As well. Yeah, don't worry. We'll think about that later with some champagne. Tonight is going to be a big night. I think no one's going back home. I didn't understand that. We all stay here. You better stay. I hope Jimmy's is ready.
I think there's a hefty bar bill coming his way tonight.